Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Buckshot with your host, Tom O'Mahony. How are you? It's a delightful week here. Glad you can join me, all four of you. I don't know how listener figures are going. I guess when you start off, who can you expect to listen? Maybe your mother. But I think there's, by the response, I got a couple of emails. It would seem a few more than just 4, anyway, have landed. So another one of these Wednesday podcasts, and I'll be pumping them out every Wednesday. I kind of forgot to say a D or whatever. Apologies for the intro on the last one, the music intro. I don't know what I was doing, a sound asleep rush, and I ended up, rather than the usual like 10-15 seconds of music, you got treated to like a full minute of music. It was it's a pretty tasty. So what's been going on the past week? Had the Whelan's gig for Buckshot. Lovely gig. Grand little crowd as well, but really into it. Some Germans in there. English, of course, was embarrassingly brilliant. You're just looking at him going, how? And this is like one, chatting to him too, is like one of like 5 languages they could speak. It was like, oh God. I don't know what we can barely speak English. Definitely none of us can speak Irish. Well, the odd genius can speak Irish, but Jesus, it is embarrassing when you see how good the Germans can be. But it's been a fun week though. This podcast is going to be a little different. I'm going to have guests on in after the music, the intro music. Who they are is my grandparents. I know it's weird to nearly hear that from like I'm 35 to hear from somebody 35 who still has their grandparents, but they live forever in my parents. My parents' grandparents even lived into their 90s. But yeah, my granddad's 97, Granddad Tom, and Grandma Alice, she's 90. They're fucking adorable. They're just real cutesy old people, but I mean, still sharp as hell, with all the stories and stuff from the past. I'm guessing I'm going to probably record a bunch more with them, because why not? You know what I mean? Who gets to listen to people who actually lived through a world war and have seen it all and done it all? And I suppose wisdom does come with age, but definitely what you'll find with this is like the same shit applies now as what applies back in the 50s. You'll hear a couple of little nuggets there, like there's a cracking line from Grandma, was like hard to be got. If you listen to it, it's like, yeah, the same still applies today. And it's just, I was worried that because they were a bit nervous at first. Well, Grandad wasn't. He was up for it all day long. Tom was just like, yeah, I'll do it. But Grandma was just like, she thought she was going live on the radio at one stage. Like, but when I explained to her what it was, she was like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. It's not so weird. Because I just sprung it on him. I just pulled the recorder out of my pocket. I was like, all right, we're going to do this. It's not the weirdest thing. I mean, they've come to one of my comedy shows before. So yeah, they're a cool crowd. But yeah, we'll get on to them in a bit. But what else? Oh yeah, well, it was good. It was down in Tipperary, down at the parents' place, and we had to go down. What the Christ did we have to go? Oh yeah, I was hosting a show down there. It was great fun actually hosting. It was a benefit basically to raise money for I say hosting, but I was kind of one of the judges. The guys, the 2 Johnnies were the hosts, and it was amazing turnout, really professionally done and everything. And I was willing to do it anyway, for 2 reasons. One, I wanted to help out as the local area at home, and 2, I'm going to have a show in that very same hotel, Buckshot, on May 13th. So I was going to help to plug things and all the rest of it. But Christ, at 250 people, and it was their second night of it, and it was just basically like a talent competition, but it wasn't really a competition, you know what I mean? It wasn't. So guys were just, oh my God, it was some brilliant. There was, like, out of the lot, there was 2 amazing singers out of the 12 performers, but the other, and it was a couple that weren't bad, but there was 1 or 2 amazing fucking moments where you could, you just, and it was innocently brilliant, and they didn't realise, from living in cities, you see, everybody's trying to do something new all the time, and then there's so much PC and stuff, and it all ends up kind of blending into just one kind of thing for professionally striving to do things artistically and stuff. You'll see what I mean. It's like you see performances going on. It's like, yeah, okay, I see what you're doing there. Yeah, okay, so you're going to do ballet with crutches and stuff. Great, yeah. So you never get to see the pure innocence of just having fun for the good of the community. You know what I mean? You won't see that at any level in theatres and whatnot and clubs and stuff, because everybody's doing it on a professional level, to some level of professionalism. But this was just, there was a glorious bit. I'm drinking tea again, classy. There was a glorious bit where this girl was out singing Katy Perry's Eye of the Tiger, and it was going fine. The girl was on stage by herself singing it. She wasn't bad. But then out of nowhere, this dude comes out of the back like dressed in like a mascot tiger outfit. I just started randomly. There was absolutely no choreography to what he was planning on doing, and he's just kind of dancing around in the audience. Actually, he's on stage and she's still singing away like I got the eye of the tiger, and this guy just decides, I cannot break dance, but fuck it, I'm gonna give the worm a go. And he goes to give the worm a go and just fucking face plants straight into the stage, and then continues into like a roll. It was just beyond glorious. Like, as I said, you can travel. They say travel broadens the mind, and you'll see different things the further you go. But it turns out I only had to go like 5 miles from my family home to see a man in a tiger suit face plant himself in front of 250 people. It was just, and the thing was, there was no real kind of roaring laughing at that. It was like, there you go, he's doing his best. You know what I mean? Because I was looking at it from purely performance, and I was probably coming at it from the wrong place. But it was like halfway in, then I started to realise, oh right, this isn't. Nobody wins a contract at the end of this. This is everybody's on the beer afterwards. This is just to raise money so they can get a new set of floodlights from the fucking GA pitch or whatever. At one stage there was this one group, they came out and they were Sister Act, and they were kind of a comedy troupe a bit. They had to be, because they weren't doing any singing, but they came through the audience, and there was like 4 or 5 nuns, 2 of which were women. One was a dude with a moustache, then there was a Pope guy. I don't know what the Pope had to do, but the Pope guy was on the mic, and he was kind of just doing the whole Pat Short thing, just talking to the audience as they were walking to the stage. And it took like 5 minutes to get to the fucking stage. And when they did, by the way, one of the and this, if for anybody who's lived in cities all their lives, you have to understand there's an innocence and naivety somewhat sometimes to country folk. Not all country folk, but just there's an innocence. They're very much. They don't believe in kind of smoke and mirrors and the Emperor's New Clothes kind of style things when it comes to it. Either is or it isn't. And what I'm getting about to is one of the nuns was Whoopi Goldberg. Not actually Whoopi Goldberg. It was just a dude with blackface and a wig. And my jaw hit the floor at first, because of course I'm so, urbanised and PC and everything. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm pretty sure you're offending. But the thing was, it wasn't, there was absolute, apparently this troupe had been in the local panto because they were so fun. But there was no fun being made. All he was doing his best impression of Whoopi Goldberg. You know what I mean? It was from no negative place. It was, and I think as even a black person would have went, oh, I mean, looking at it as face value, if you watch the video, you go, what the fuck is going on here? But he wasn't the star of the show. Like, it was just like, oh, well, that's the thing that he's got. And then there was the guy. It was mostly the Pope guys who people seem to adhere to. And that was, after a minute or two, I realised, right, the intent behind this is just to good-hearted humour and not at the expense of black people. This is his best impression he could do of Whoopi Goldberg to complete the Sister Act troupe. And it was because I chatted with him afterwards, like yeah, and I didn't ask him out straight, like I just wanted to get to what his thoughts were. And he was just chatting away while drinking a beer, going, yeah, it's gone great. I mean, you couldn't have Sister Act without Sister Whoopi, could you? I'm like, no, you couldn't. And it was almost refreshing in that it didn't come from a racist place. They weren't trying. It was purely, and for that I think, yeah, well, that's where it's absolutely fine. If you're total innocence and all you want to do is have fun and just do an impression. And he was right. It wouldn't have worked. And I thought too, would it be any less racist if he wore a mask of Whoopi Goldberg? It'd be the same thing, because that's all he was trying to do. Whether he did it well or not is a different story. I don't think any black person has that shade of skin. It was quite literally boot polish on the dude's face. But again, it was his best effort. Natasha came down with me. You'll hear her a little bit on the track. She stayed quiet enough because she wanted me to just... Because you got to... interviewing somebody on a recording device, whether it's for live radio or whatever, it gets weird because you got to kind of step back and you can't talk over each other. Because it sounds like shit. So that's kind of a rule. You got to... Because normally Irish people especially, we just talk over each other. We finish each other's sentences. We'll just start when somebody's sentence hasn't quite punctuated. And that's something you can't really do. Plus, because they're old and stuff, and they're really country, originally really country. They live in the town now, but their accents can be troublesome because they speak so quickly. So I would say just listen intently when you do. The questions are pretty simple because they've been married, forever. And we're soon to be married. I kind of put it to him about, marriage questions and all that. They didn't have a lot of advice on it. They just had some solid advice. That was about it, really. And just some of the courtship stories and all the rest. But I didn't know how long stuff would last. I'd written out 10 subjects. And I was like, oh, Jesus, I might get 30 minutes out of these 10 subjects. We only got through 1.5, really. And I'm guessing the marriage one, there's a lot more on it, of funny stories and stuff. But I'm guessing I'll get them to open up a bit more. The next time I do one, obviously they're going to expect it. And that was the thing about it. They weren't really expecting. But grandfather piped up. He was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, no problem." He's a bit of a showman, all right. Not that he was ever in show business, but he's absolutely not shy. Tough old character back in the day, and you wouldn't think it if you met him. You know what I mean? You just go, "Oh, right, yeah." It just seems like a really nice old guy. But apparently, back in the day, you didn't cross Tom. He was just one of those blokes. He didn't. What else have we got on? So Natasha, I just said I had to tell you this one to give you an idea of just the bizarreness on a daily. Oh, Lord, the innocence of it. So ourself is desperate for a dog. And I said there's no point in getting one until after the wedding because it's fucking up in the air all over the place. So we said, yeah, definitely get one after. So we went back we're down at the parents' place. We went for a drive to the Glen of Aherlow, which is essentially where the house is, where they're from, but it's a little further back towards the Galtee Mountains, just for a nice drive. The day was stunning. And we went up the mountains, came back down, and as we're driving back the road, this short-haired Jack Russell came fucking bolting up the road towards us. It's not a weird thing. You'd often see sheepdog, cattle dog, going about their daily grind. Strut. This muscly little fucker he was too. And she was like, "He's no collar on him." I'm like, yeah, he's well fed. That's all you need to know. He's well fed. There's plenty of houses, a house every couple of 100 yards. You know what I mean? There's farms everywhere, so it's actually quite cosmopolitan agriculturally, And for some reason, and this isn't the first time, for some reason didn't kick into my head. That dog, trust me, is absolutely fucking fine. Because the dog was going about his business. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was looking over his shoulder all lost and stuff. The dog was running up the road with his happy happy trot. But I did. I pulled in. She's like, "You have to pull in. You have to pull in. See, is he all right?" And I swear to God, this little fucker's move. This is a move from him. He must throw off the little collar before he leaves the house and go, "I won't be needing that today." Because we pull up and the fucker jumped straight into the car. I opened up the door just kind of to have a quick look at him. Jumped straight in, under my legs, up onto her lap, and started... So like he'd long lost fucking buddies after the war or something. Started nuzzling into her. I was like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, "I think we're bonding." This is all in the space of 5 seconds. So we drive up the road. I had to just pull in off the road because there was a truck passing or whatever. And I pull in about 50 yards up the road. I'm like, "Get the fucker. We have to..." So at that stage, we pulled in by a house. So I went, he must belong to this guy. Went in, rang the doorbell. Of course, there's nobody there. There's a guy working in a farm just next door who I'm guessing owns this dog because his paws are fucking filthy too, by the way. He's jumped in. I just said, just put him out. He'll be fine. If a dog is well fed in the countryside, trust me, it's somebody's dog. That's the bottom line. Dogs will go fucking hungry. Dog may not go hungry for too long in a city. You know what I mean? If they'll get some scraps. There's food. There's genuine food. There is no food hanging around in the countryside for stray dogs. So there are no stray fucking dogs. You're either somebody's dog or you're lost, one or the other. And this fucker wasn't lost. You knew by him, like, he wasn't, where was he going to, he couldn't have come from anywhere. So ringing the doorbell, no answer. A dog is pulling all kinds of fucking cute moves too. He's on his back and he's like tongue out the side of his mouth. He's a total fucking hustler too. You can tell he's like, yeah, go on, rub the fuck. So he's like, she's nearly crying, sitting back in the car. I'm going to leave the fucker here. Trust me. That dog is somebody's dog. So we take off real slow. The dog keeps bolting after us, really putting on the show now. It's laying it on fucking thick. Even about an hour later, we're home. She's like, do you think he's all right? She named him and everything. He's like Rocco or something. Like, and I'm like, yeah, he's fine. My mother walks in. She's like, hey, how was your trip up? Explain it, tell her the dog story. She's like, oh, that little bot. Oh, he pulls that shit the whole time. That fucker would. He's unbelievable. He'd jump in with anybody. Total poor of a dog. So it answered the question, really, yeah. Don't fucking pick up stray dogs in the country. This isn't. I'll explain it other times. Like, this isn't the first time my sense of the countryside has not been overridden by Natasha's want to fucking stop and pick up a dog or pick up a lamb or pick up a duck. That kind of tells you the story of what I'm talking about there. I read a story this week. I know I'm kind of at the last day. I ranted about a woman. I think it was, what was she, chipping her tooth or some fucking thing. Ireland, the boom has to be back. Things have gone fucking mental in the claiming world. This was one in the newspaper the other day, and I don't give a fuck. This is just whatever about cracking your tooth or busting your toe. This is just fucking outrageous. So this woman and her buddies all went down for like a Mother's Day fucking weekend retreat themselves down to some country hotel. Well, not a country hotel, but you know, it was a hotel outside of Dublin. And you know, everybody has done it at a restaurant, at a wedding, you know what I mean, at a hotel. You'll have sat at a table and sat down, and you just happen to be where the leg is, because tables can't fucking float, right? And you'll crack your knee off and think, oh, you bastard. But you'll continue on with your day, because it's just like, what? It's just like your hair flopping over to the wrong side. That's all it is. Yeah, it's this little stinger for a fucking couple of minutes. So this old bird, anyway, she's not even old, right? She sits down at the table as directed by, which I think is a polite thing to do. It's go, there's your table, ladies, enjoy, right? She sat down at the table, this woman, and whacked her knee off the table leg. Continued to finish her dinner, had a couple of drinks, and then said her knee was killing her, and went up to the room and had ice dropped up to the room. Sweet Jesus, really, really thinking here now. Like, it went on anyway, and in the report I read, there was absolutely no damage to this woman. There was no medical damage to this woman. You fucking physically couldn't, unless your legs are made of fucking glass. And even glass would take the slap. Glass is tough enough. Like, there's nothing. Unless you fucking ran at the table. Because the table isn't moving. The table has no spiky objects. It's just a flat fucking leg. Timber leg. How much force can you put into it? Unless you weigh fucking like 50 stone or something. You cannot put that kind of force into it. You can't. I mean, you could drive your knee into it like UFC style and fuck it up. But if you're sitting down, what kind of fucking savage sits down with that force? So anyway, yeah, throughout the article there was absolutely no medical damage. But it was all about, she had been directed to the table by this member of staff. She had been directed like he had set a fucking trap. It read like at 3 or 4 points. It had read it from how different breakdowns of how this woman had been directed to the table, and that was it. That was her only game. Is that she didn't choose to sit there, so I mean, that opens the fucking gate to anything. That opens like, our staff now, in case you bust yourself in your fucking room, are they not allowed to tell you what room you're in? Fuck that. Can't tell you, just in case. No, I'm not telling you. Not telling you. You're going to have to knock on all the doors and find out yourself, because if I tell you and you end up... because that was what the whole claim was on. I thought how it worked, the business worked, was that if you had actual damages, you get paid for actual fucking damages. Like I told you about that woman with the busted tooth. Fair enough. She did actually bust her tooth. I think it was over-exaggerated, the amount of money she got. But then, you know what? There was actual medical damage there, physical damage. You go, all right, fair enough. Maybe she went for a fucking platinum tooth. That's her prerogative, maybe. I don't know. There was no physical damage. And I swear to God, the judge awarded this woman 20,000 fucking euro. 20,000 euro. Like, either the judge had a bee in her fucking bonnet about that hotel, or, I don't know, she'd been smoking fucking crack. How can you justify fucking anything? Like, if that comes up in court, is that not one of those ones where the judge goes, what? Get that shit out of my sight. Is that, am I wrong? Is unless there's actually any criminal activity or negligence on their behalf, because I can't see anything negligent. He just went, how the fuck did he know where the leg was? The tablecloth was hanging over. Or she, or whoever directed this woman to the table. How the fuck did they know? You gotta start getting fucking, clear fucking cloths now. Oh my God, so you can see where the leg is. And fucking negligence on her behalf, sitting down with so much fucking force that she can claim that she has damages. Who the fuck sits down like that? Toddlers don't fucking drop like that. Holy Jesus. Yeah, 20 fucking G's. By Jesus. You think of all the times you bust yourself in places like where you go, it wouldn't even it wouldn't cross your mind the same way fucking Superman landing wouldn't cross your fucking mind. Hello, maybe that does cross some people, but you know what I mean. It's that outrageous. You're going, what? Get the fuck out of here. You just wouldn't. I mean, if you, yeah, look, I just said I'd bring that up because I just thought 20 G's, 5 G's, that's winning. 20 G's, fuck, that's unreal. Jesus. So yeah, that's enough of my fucking rabbiting, really. I'm going to plough on. I've a couple more guests teed up for the next couple of months. Some interesting folk too, guys and ladies who have done interesting things and whatnot. Cooler shit than I've done. So yeah, let's plough on with the actual interview of the podcast. Thanks very much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, SoundCloud. And if you do have any questions of any sort, fire them on to buckshotpodcast at gmail.com. I'll be linking this all through the next website when it does actually get finished. Other than that, please give it up for my grandparents, Tom and Alice. See ya. So the whatchamacallit, that joke is just recording away. That's as simple as that.
No. You're famous now.
You're famous now, Grandma.
Oh my God, you're talking about pastry though.
No, that's not recorded. That's not recorded. No.
Are you right to jail? Oh, we're finished the one. No, man.
But because I was telling Natasha the last day that you were relatively young, in year you were getting married. What age were you, Grandma?
21.
You were 21.
Yeah.
And you were 30.
29 or 30.
30.
Yeah.
And that's young because all your friends were.
Yeah.
Oh, not yet. All you young, they'll be older, won't they?
They would, yeah. The ones that got married after, so they were older. What you call, one of them got a county council to go up and ask the fella to know when she asked him, the county council, to go up and ask him to know when is he going to marry the daughter.
She thought that was a county council question, to go up and ask. So what, this couple were dating?
Because they were dating so long that they
Yeah, because they were children now,
What year did you get married? What year was it?
1951.
1951?
Yeah, October.
Wow. So
that was the photo there, over there on that there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
And where did you get married? Did you get married in Galway, no?
Galway, that's right, Galway.
Yeah.
And
We got married inside in what you call. Oh, we got married in Galway.
Neil outside the rails
Outside the rails.
and fasted from midnight.
Oh, yeah, you had to fast from midnight.
That's it, that was the old custom.
And what you call, we thought that they'd be subpoena out of the sacristy or something. And the next thing was what you call, coming in, we were invited into the sacristy.
Sign the names.
Sign your name and run away now.
No tea, no nothing.
No, take no, no.
But the priest put us up down the
And what was the story back then? Did you have to invite many people, or did people just come on?
We had 100.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
All those relations that time. Uncles and aunts and all that time, yes.
And had people to travel far, or was it just whoever be close by? Like,
They travelled. Some of them were close by.
Yeah, there was uncles. They all got drunk anyway.
so nothing changes, so.
Priest and all, there was all.
The priest got drunk?
He was home from America. And he enjoyed it. If he was ever away or something like that before, was he? And he was literal.
And there was there was one man there, and he was fairly beery, you know. And he was a great customer of mine from Kilfin side.
No, he might. Tom might have talking about Mall Condon one time, did he?
Yeah.
No, he didn't in Wellanders.
No, but they had a shop as well, didn't they? Did you have a shop as well as the garage?
No.
Yeah, you had.
We had,
Yeah, electric stuff and
Oh,
all.
like car stuff and electrical stuff. Yeah.
But anyway, what you call, this fella had a dance with her, and of course he was,
Falling asleep, right?
and he made a date with her.
Right.
And the next thing was what you call, the morning after, she had a farm alongside us, and my father was Willie, and Willie, I made a great catch yesterday, says she.
Right.
I made a date, says she, with fella. And flog it, he never came down.
Go away.
He never came near the place again. I lost a customer over the wedding.
And he was driving a car, and he was lying drunk.
Wow. Did many people get away with it back then, drinking and driving?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Was it enforced, like with a guard?
Oh, it wasn't, no.
No.
Yeah.
He was lying drunk.
I got the...
And the priest was bad because Jerry said the home from America in her 9 years like it.
But that wasn't your priest that got drunk, was it?
No,
not the ferry.
No, I know who he was belonged to. Who was the lady, the niece? She was his niece. Who was she? She was below Wellanders, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I forget her name now. I can't think of names.
1951, I don't think I'd be able to remember names either. So, and how long were you dating before that? How long did it take him basically to ask you?
Well, I'll tell you what.
It sounds like it's going to be good.
What do you call it? Where we met first
Yeah.
was when we were at a dance in Snr.
Right. Oh.
In bicycles now. And the next thing was, what you call, we came onto this cross, and no, or was it at this place? But anyway, we met at this cross and we were talking at this cross, and I said to Alice, I'll see you home. Go home and have sense, she said.
You told him to go home and have sense.
And the next thing was, it began to pour rain. And we went for shelter under a bush, and that was the beginning of it.
Oh, hey! So you tried to burn him, basically. You tried to send him to the rain.
Oh, you couldn't take it on. You couldn't say you was having straight away.
Oh, yeah.
Have to be got.
Oh, yeah. Hard to be got, I like it. And where did you? And how long did the courtship last then before you decided to get married?
That's just 3 years, I tell you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So it was only just after World War II, when you think about it.
That's all. That's
Wow.
right, yeah.
What was, going into the mechanics trade though? Was there much, how tough was
It
that?
was just getting good, like, wasn't
Was it just turning good?
But fellas used to ask Alice for a date, and you know, some of them were kind of terrible opinion of themselves.
Or,
And she tell them go home. she said, and they said, "It's no good for her to come and dancing here." I said, "Sure, I can stay at home." So
when did you get, how far would you go for dances then? So it's from Lisfernan to your house, from where you were, that's a long cycle. Like, that must be 20 miles.
it wasn't.
No?
It wouldn't be, no.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different route, sorry.
Yeah.
But it'd be over 10 or 12 miles though.
Oh, it would be, yeah.
Well, Galbally, we were
Yeah.
a lot in Galbally. Debbie danced at Galbally.
Oh, that wouldn't be too far, at least. It's
That
only a
wouldn't
couple of
be too
miles.
far, no.
Yeah, but it's about 5 miles, is what it is.
And had you cycled as well that time?
Yeah, we did. On the bicycles, everywhere.
No wonder we were good at cycling when the Tour de France came around. All our parents and grandparents had been cycling.
No, we cycled everywhere, Thomas the Prairie and everywhere. Not the dances, like the overhead to town and all that.
Yeah.
We cycled to the Prairie. We cycled to funerals and everything.
Really, Mac.
Down to Galway up to Kilbihiny and all.
And when did you... Were you the first in the family to get a car?
What?
Or had your dad a car as well?
No, it's always the first to get a car.
I was the first.
Did you ever cycle at that?
I used to, yeah. I used to cycle everywhere.
Oh, yes, you have Dublin, you don't like to cycle now?
Oh, no.
No,
A lot of
no.
people would cycle, but
Oh, that's what I said to the downtown.
Well, do you know the style of bike that you would have cycled? The
That would be,
Penny farthing.
the penny farthing.
to be just the common bike. Like.
But they're really popular now.
Oh, yeah.
They've come back now because the shape was, they got it right first time. The shape was perfect in that you had the 27-inch wheels, so you get massive ground coverage, and they'd have a basket out the front. You could pay up to €800 for one of them now.
Oh my God.
And they're painting them nice colours, you see. They're painting them nice soft greens and creams.
And I think our prices are only £4 or £5 down.
What?
I'm really clear in angles with the
£4 or £5 though.
That's all.
That was still a few bob, like relative to.
But you know, a Christmas night, we'll say, there wouldn't be dance any place but Anglesborough.
You never know that hall.
And how much was it to go into the hall in Anglesborough?
On Christmas night.
Christmas night.
Christmas night, I have no idea.
Have a case.
It can't be more than an equivalent of today's 10.
How much?
Would it be €10 today's money?
No.
Tuppence or threepence?
I know, Tom.
2 or 3 pence?
Sixpence,
I know. More, he charged more on Christmas night. He would. I never night only 4 pence.
Oh, right, so he'd ramp it up because it was Christmas night.
I would, actually.
But the ordinary night, though, it was only about sixpence.
I don't know what that's anywhere. It's like, how he was loud with the priest stuff.
Oh, yeah, would the priest have known, though? I suppose the priest would have known. Would the priest have shut it down if he had a problem with it, though?
Well, they never did try anyway.
No, they wouldn't have known.
But there was this fella anyway, and I know him fairly well. He was from Kilbihiny, and he was dancing, and he was dancing with this one anyway, and he asked her would she have a mineral, and she said she would, and he got the loan of sixpence,
right,
from some fella. And she was dancing with him, and she danced the next dance, and after that he didn't see her anymore. And I borrowed the sixpence, I lost the sixpence, and I lost her as well.
That's what you get.
I did, yeah. So that's the way, you know.
So was he a catch back in the day then?
I'd say so.
Yeah? Well, hey.
What you saying?
I'm saying, were you a catch back in the day? You would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I do all that thing, shut up.
Were they?
Yeah.
Jeez, look at that. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, what?
They were going to the gallery, you know what I mean? Even my old cousin-in-law, she was trying to do me out.
Your own cousin tried to step
yeah,
up? Wow. And were you married at that stage?
No.
No, people wouldn't do that. Although you probably would try chance it, I suppose. Even that.
And what do you call?
Oh, she got out, she
A
would.
fella said to me, And your girlfriend, she was brought out of the church yesterday, see, at Mass. She got sick. I don't know the truth in it.
He was a woman for you or something, so he wanted to...
Oh, right. He was just spreading rumours to sink it. Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Were they sneaky enough?
They were quite hawk.
Oh, bet they were.
You see, you can't get away with that kind of stuff nowadays because too many people would know.
No.
Oh no, at that time it was when fellas went
Very
with girls
jealous
that
one
time,
of them.
they go for one night and one night and one night and one night and
Yeah.
Stringing them along like.
no, but now you see when they go with a girl, they nearly marry her.
Yeah, well, you kind of, yeah. That's mad. That's gas, like. Because you were saying before that your friends were nearly angry because you got married, they all had to go and get fucking married then, like.
They all followed on
Well,
top.
sure, I told you that the county councillor
Yeah.
had to go and asked the fella to know when was he going to marry his daughter.
What was your man's answer? He couldn't hardly go over.
I did marry. Do you know how many in family they had after? They had 9 or 10.
Yes.
9 or 10 children.
Yeah. And one of them is now, you might hear him, is O'Donnell. Tommy O'Donnell.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What is
His
he?
brother,
And his who has the butchers.
Yeah.
And his son went on to play.
Yeah.
Playing Munster rugby.
Rugby,
right.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gas.
And he wouldn't do that when he family now with the 4 or 5, I think. So, yeah.
And so what age did you get the car then? Because I'm trying to get a timeline of when cars started coming around the place.
When
Like.
did I get a car?
You were telling me you had a yoke one time that was made out of plywood.
Pardon?
You had a car one time that the panels were pretty much plywood.
Oh, that's all. And what you call, I was working, well, I wasn't going with Alice that time though.
Oh, right.
I wasn't, no. I was working on main 4 dealers and for my.
That's where you served your time.
Well, I served my time in Scotty too, my 4 dealers.
Oh, yeah. Jeez, yeah, all the way down to Wexford. Had you digs down there or what was the story?
Pardon?
Had you digs down there or what was the
Oh,
story?
I had, yeah.
And did you spend 4 years down there or was it, or how
It's
long?
been 3 or 4. And what you call, I had to pay for digs then. And what you call, talking about taking a girl, you take her no place because you... my wages were going on my keep.
You'd have to borrow the 6pence to take you and buy her a mineral, yeah.
And the wages were very bad, weren't they?
Yeah, but what you call? I had bought this car off this fella. It was a plywood body, and the
Was it what colour was it painted even like?
oh, it was a small little thing, and what you call? This fella said to me, Tom said, "Will you give me a drive out as far as the cross?" He said, "Or give me a drive out as far as the cross." And I said, "I will." I said into the car, "Good Christ, Tom," says he, "will you keep between the ditch?"
What engine was in a plywood car?
It was, yeah.
But what engine was in it?
Oh God, I couldn't. It was a small engine.
I can only. I just a picture of this square box with a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the baby Ford cars and all.
Oh, the baby Ford. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Baby Ford was the first car I ever had.
What is it after the cars?
And what you call the Baby Ford? If a wire broke on the Baby Ford, if we had a pin, just get the pin and join the 2 wires together.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. You wouldn't do that today.
No. You got to
God,
plug.
I wouldn't dare look at a car now because what you call you should pull the wires or anything.
Forget about it. They're a computer. You're driving a computer now.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's not the same mechanics at all.
There's too many bloody tricks in the cars now, and too many old
Stuff
things.
keeps on going wrong, sure. They're all over engineered now. Stuff goes wrong, and then you're going to cost you a couple of $1,000 to fix it.
Yeah.
Or you could fix a thing yourself before that, but
Which is like all old cokers and the whole lot now. She's all eating off eggs now, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, big on.
Well, this.
That's what's reason.
this
No, I
ma-
don't have to defrost it out. I don't know why.
What your freezer?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
You need no screens.
Oh,
That's the freezer, you need defrost it.
the which?
The freezer you got.
What's wrong with it?
There's no need to defrost it out, there's no one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I don't know. Sure, we don't.
Oh,
They don't defrost that freezer.
oh yeah.
I know.
No, you don't, no.
No, that's the new thing. Now that's out again.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll give you a 5-year guarantee on
I
it.
know,
That's
well,
it.
that's
That's it.
Don't last as long as the last one, I think.
Not at all.
I don't want to tell us.
There was a funeral anyway in Dan Hayes was the undertaker, and when the hearse came out of the funeral parlour or whatever, or the church, up a mile of the road it stopped,
Right.
the hearse, and he had to get the hearse in Limerick.
So hold on. Did it stop with the body in it?
Pardon?
Did it break? The hearse broke down with the body in the back.
The hearse just stopped.
Yeah, but it was.
Yeah, there was nothing in it.
They actually had a coffin in it.
They had, yeah.
Okay.
And what do you call it? He got he took his own hearse then into the garage, and he went. The man went down for it, and the man came out a mile of the road. If you went real slow,
Right.
to take you to Timbuktu,
Okay.
but put it up to 20 miles an hour, and
Did.
So he took it to, this man took it to the first, he took it to the next garage anyway.
Yeah.
And they said the fella at the last garage,
Which is you.
the fella at the last garage, he said he didn't do the right at all.
Oh, right, sorry.
And he did it. He said, now it is right. And the next thing was anyway, he went up further the road again and it banged again. And then Hayes came on anyway, and he brought it in to me. And he said, Tom, that's giving trouble to stopping and starting. But you see, I had the experience of the main four dealers.
Oh, was it a Ford hearse?
To the fourth hearse.
Okay, right.
I had the experience of the engine.
Yeah.
And I was an awful idiot anyway, what do you call it. He came down about 10 minutes after, and he said to me, do you find out what was wrong? I did, I said. And the man will screw you for a halfpenny.
You had a right to hang on to it for a few days.
I had, I
Yeah.
sure did.
You live and learn.
So he was telling them all anyway, though he took it to his house.
Oh.
But you see, it was what was wrong with this, you see, is this, the distributor, there's a flexible wire in the distributor.
Yeah.
And when you start the thing, what you call it, it's just permanent. But then when you race it then,
Yeah.
it opens out. But the minute it used to open out then, just stem and switching it off.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You see, so.
What did you do to fix his distributor?
Well, I got a new flexible wire.
It's a pity you didn't. Yeah. Pity you didn't hang on for a few days and tell him.
Oh, yeah, because you know why? When I was building the garage,
Oh, it took all day, fella.
there was about there was what you call there was about 250 sheets of galvanized. Hayes had them, and I said to him, I'll take all them from you.
Right.
So the next thing was anyhow to do to cover the garage, and he said, God, I said there's 30 or 40 dollars missing.
Yeah.
Tom says you never paid me for them.
Wow.
He wanted me. I should have paid him when I said I'd take him.
Oh, it was your bad luck, basically, is what he's saying. That sorry, I just took him because.
I mean, so if you said I'd take it, I'd take that off you. You wouldn't.
You definitely wouldn't start charging the same price as you did for the 250 when
Yeah.
you're down to 220.
Well, but Oh, he
Again was spice.
Your garage was called BMW, wasn't it?
the what?
Your garage, though, it was BMW, Ballylanders Motorworks.
No, it wasn't.
What did you call it?
I know they call it anything.
No.
Suppose it didn't have to be.
Garage.
Yeah. Was Tracy? Yeah, it was. I suppose it's Tom O'Mahony's garage.
This fellow, a young fella I had in serving his time, and what do you call it? He was a small fella, and he'd a lorry wheel. We'll say rolling along the garage, and this fellow was there. It's not can do guy, and. You see, we'd get overalls that time.
Yeah.
Free, but here there's no pair of overalls.
Yes,
they were. They were
a bit baggy on him.
The body of more go down to his knees.
His arse was down where the best of his knees.
and the next thing was anyway, this fella said, "My God, you could had jigs in that."
Had jigs in his.
Had jigs. Didn't he let the wheel fall down his legs?
Dropped it on him.
Drop it. My dear, they were fair sore.
Yes, the last time he insulted him.
Yeah.
So you're right. So you're married. I'm just thinking, is it 66 years?
Yeah.
66 years.
Yeah.
So we'll round up the chat. What's the secret? Because so many marriages are breaking up now. What's the secret? Because
Well, it is all up to yourself. I will say. I mean, when I tell you, when I married what you call Alice first, I was the boss.
How long did that last?
Well, I didn't mean to tell her that or say that.
Yeah.
But I thought the man was the boss. I thought the man was the boss. So, what you call, a couple of things happened anyway. And Jerry Tom says, "Hey, you know, you weren't as smart as you were, thought you." Well, when I was in hospital, Alice was able to take over the whole garage.
That was the time of the explosion.
Yeah. And another time I was sick again, and she was able to.
So she proved herself just as good as any man, like.
Yeah. She'd be know her spark plugs, she'd be know her electricity, she'd be know her.
Yeah, they're rooting around the shop. Well, this is where I go to lay my hand in it, and I would be out at the hospital all the time. So I had to go for a meal and everything. And you know what? There was no restaurant or anything that time, or any shop, handy shop to get a cup of tea. And anyone that we were waiting for the car, they loved this as a side with me.
Really?
And you would have to maybe get them a dinner. There was one old lady anyway, and she was there for breakfast, dinner, and supper.
Well, what were these people just
I don't know.
imposing themselves on you, like?
No, she waited for her car, and she could have got
Oh,
down
right.
The car was well done.
And she could have gone down to her relation down the town, and she would go down to her.
So they come in and get the car fixed, and you'd have to make them dinner.
They had turnips and spuds, and with you, you never get a heady cabbage.
No.
So your top tip for keeping a marriage going
Anyway, no.
is stay equal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I mean, I said no. Even today I think, that's such a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, he was on in the shop, right? He was his best day, go to the garage again. He was looking all day, I go out and I don't see that off, and I see straight away.
Well, that's the same with Natasha. She has a memory of where stuff is.
Yeah.
I could be wearing what I'm looking for. That's how bad I am. I'd ask where my glasses are, and they'd be on top of my head. She'd go, "Tom, they're on top of your head," and she'd shout this from the other room. She'd hear it. She'd know from the other room. She goes, "I bet they're on top of your head," and there you'd be.
They say that there's one thing that you should never go to bed. Well, say cross and contrary with the wife or the husband.
Settle it before you go to bed.
Settle before you go to bed.
Well, that's a perfect that's a perfect piece of advice.
Yeah.
Get it sorted before you go to bed.
But there's no, I mean.
So busy, someone that you wouldn't have time to have.
Yeah, I like that's it. People aren't busy enough. That's what you're. Yeah, that's a major
I
thing.
don't look to my eyes and stuff.
People aren't busy enough. That's exactly, yeah.
All the books, all say at the time of the electricity, the electricity came in. You see something like that out the country talk, what year did that come into town? All granted it off other stuff to be got that time.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes, there's a brand new age.
Yeah.
Electricity was coming in. Jeez, I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you would have been the only people who knew about it.
That's all. And
She must have been like wizards. Do
I
you know what I mean?
yeah, I got in wire houses and the whole lot, you know. And you had to take the little ceiling thing and bulbs and shades and all the thing of the news that I used to take with all them down.
And where were you ordering it from then?
Down to Stokes and McKellen's in Limerick.
In Limerick?
Yeah.
Right.
But this fella anyway, what you call, he, a great customer of mine down in Gallyspillane, a very nice man, and he asked me would I wire the house for him.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'd love to, but I can't, I'm too busy. So, this fella in Kilfin, he got him anyway to wire the house. And when he wired the house, he gave him the bill.
Right.
So I said to him, to this farmer, no, I said, I owe you money, a good bit of money, say to him, and I want to get things sorted out. So the next thing was, he went to the man, and the man said that to him. And he came to me, says he, I wired that house for, what was his name?
I couldn't think.
Mary Raleigh married me.
Yeah, Raleigh, wasn't it? Raleigh was it?
Raleigh's. So he came to me anyway, he said to me, I've that house wired now, he said. And I gave them the bill, he said. So I'll give you the, the commission or something out of it. I can't say you won't say, because there's a bill there that he owed. He said he'd pay me when I get it.
Yeah.
When I get the job done. And he paid for the motor car repairs and all. So I said, I know. And he went off anyway. And he gave the bill to the man of just the wires and thing, his own side. But he had mine in as well. Whatever I had.
Oh, you tied into it as well?
Tied into it as well. So I went down to down to the van, like he asked me, and I gave him the bill. And he didn't look at the bill at all, and I threw it into the fire.
Really?
Yeah. Jesus, that fellow was robbing me right, left and centre.
Oh, he's robbing stuff while he was there?
He was charging him a terrible lot for the wiring of the house.
Oh, right. So did he ever give your man a few bob for it?
Pardon?
Did he ever pay him?
What you saying?
Did he ever pay him?
Oh, the farmer paid the fella for the wiring of the house.
Right.
But he had extras put in as well.
Oh.
That some of my bills put in.
Oh, right. Now I get you. Yeah.
So
they're still out there.
Oh,
Yeah, they're still out there, yeah. Them sort of fellas.
Yeah.
What was, actually, while you're on it, what's the story with the windmill? Where did that come from? Did that come from Boston or something? You told me years ago about this windmill. It came to some village, and they may as well have been looking at a spaceship, but you put it up for them. It was a wind turbine.
It was electricity, a wind turbine.
And what was it, the mayor of Boston or something?
It was the mayor of Boston. He's in this
wind turbine.
Wind turbine. He sent it over to his sister-in-law, because her father or her husband died very young.
Right.
And sure, he had right to send her the money, because the man had 3 or 4 daughters and a son, and just see they weren't any. Well, it was 32 batteries in it.
Right. For storage batteries.
Yeah, and we had to we had to build, or we got men to build an outside little shed for the batteries. So we went up 6 weeks after.
See how it was going.
See how it was going. And what did we eat?
Go on, tell him.
Eggs and every... she didn't know.
She put hens in with the batteries. Were they fried eggs by the time they came out?
You'll have to do it catch the eggs and it.
But what? Like, sure, there must have been hen shite all over the batteries, was there?
Oh no, didn't matter to us.
But was it even working at that stage?
Oh, it was, yeah.
Oh, it was working.
It was working for
But how much would that power more than one house? Surely.
Well, it was only for that one house anyway, and it was fairly high, and
That's a fairly advanced. You think now? Like, what year was that? That was in the 50s, was it?
oh, it was. I'd say I forget now. That was.
Yeah.
In the 50s, but I mean that we're not even using that kind of power nowadays. Like,
Oh,
do you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like that's.
But she didn't know that you could be talking to the wall is talking.
I didn't understand anything like that. I didn't.
Yeah.
And where was it? Was that Ballylanders? No.
No, it was here in what you call
Oh,
Ardfinnan.
Yeah.
Oh, Ardfinnan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling the great stories out
Oh,
of
great.
all in
Sure, look,
the-
we'll wrap it up with it. We'll have to do another one of these because this is.